Here are today's top stories. Malacanang considers extending martial law in Mindanao as a bombing leaves 2 dead and scores injured during a fiesta in Isulan, Sultan, Kudarat. New Chief Justice Teresita de Castro vows to leave a legacy in the Supreme Court with no time to spare for the impeachment case against her. The Supreme Court begins the oral arguments in the Philippines' withdrawal from the International Criminal Court, and another lady athlete bags a gold medal for the Philippines in the inaugural women's street skateboarding competition. Good day, I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang is open to the possibility of extending martial law in Mindanao following the bomb attack that killed 2 persons and injured several others in Isulan, Sultan, Kudarat. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque says Executive Secretary Salvador Medialdea has laid down martial rule extension as an option in response to the incident. Roque says the palace is alarmed that an attack would take place in a town fiesta. He says the government cannot ignore the possibility that another explosion may occur at a larger scale. President Duterte earlier declared martial law in Mindanao following the attack by the mounted terrorist group in Marawi City. Martial law is expected to be lifted at the end of the year. Chief Justice Teresita de Castro is paying little attention to the impeachment complaint against her. She also answered critics by asserting the continued independence of the Supreme Court. Rom Dulfo has the story.
Newly appointed Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro says she has no time to think about the impeachment complaint filed by opposition lawmakers against her and 6 other magistrates who voted to oust her predecessor, Maria Lourdes Sereno. De Castro also shrugged off insinuations that her appointment as top magistrate by President Rodrigo Duterte was a reward for allegedly helping in Sereno's ouster. The 69-year-old Chief Justice, who has been in government service for 45 years, says it is time to look forward and support the projects to reform the judiciary. Prior to her appointment, De Castro has been working on many projects, one of which is the establishment of family courts in the country. De Castro says she wants to leave a legacy of restoring collegiality in the High Court. She also maintains there is no threat to judicial independence in the country. De Castro will have the shortest stint as top magistrate at the High Court with only 41 days in office, as she will retire from the judiciary on October 8. In the SC's history, former Chief Justice Pedro Yap, an appointee of former President Corazon Aquino, served for only 72 days. Former Chief Justice Felix Macasiar served for only 117 days when he was appointed by former President Ferdinand Marcos. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Malacanang is confident that the impeachment complaint against 7 Supreme Court justices who voted for the ouster of Maria Lourdes Sereno as Chief Justice will be dismissed. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the impeachment complaint will surely be junk for lack of merit. Roque stressed that the decision to remove Sereno via quo warranto was within the Supreme Court's jurisdiction and therefore not an impeachable offense. New SC Chief Justice Teresita de Castro is among the justices facing impeachment. De Castro is also accused of having been appointed as a reward for Sereno's ouster. Malacanang defended the inclusion of several military generals in President Rodrigo Duterte's entourage in his upcoming trip to Israel. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque says the government will shoulder the expenses of the generals joining the trip. He says the generals are set to meet their Israeli counterparts similar to the president's earlier trip to Russia before the Marawi siege happened. Roque also clarified the generals are still in active service with their own agenda in Israel and that the trip is not a reward in any form for them. The Supreme Court has started the oral arguments on the petition which seeks to invalidate the Philippine government's withdrawal from the International Criminal Court. Newly appointed Chief Justice Teresita Leonardo de Castro presided over the proceedings. The petitioners insist that the government signing of a treaty requires the participation of the Senate. Another petition claims that the unilateral withdrawal from the ICC is a violation of the separation of powers. Associate Justice Marvic Leonen meanwhile said The withdrawal would not stop the ICC prosecutors' preliminary examination of the alleged extrajudicial killings and human rights violations committed under the government's war on drugs. De Castro set the next oral arguments on September 4. Still to come, Grab Philippines urges the LTFRB to increase its supply base of ride-sharing vehicles. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
August 17, Biyernes, Davao City. Dumalo si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa hugpong ng Pagbabago Convention.
In this election, I commit to the Filipino people that this will be a clean election.
August 21, Linggo, Cebu City. Nakilahok ang Pangulo sa League of Municipalities of the Philippines Visayas Island Cluster Conference. Dito ay kinausap niya ang mga punong bayan.
Do not associate yourselves with the Communist Party of the Philippines. Never give them aid and never give them favor. It will be to your chagrin at the end of the day if you do that. Talagang wag.
August 22, Miyerkules, Davao City. Nag-courtesy call kay Pangulong Duterte sa Indonesian Ambassador Sinyo Hari Sarundahang. Nakipag-usap ang Pangulo kay MNLF Chairman Nur Miswari. Nakipag-usap rin siya sa Special Envoy ng Royal Council of the Sulu Sultanate na si Dato Shabandar Abdul Sakurtan. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar. At ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
Associate Justice Antonio Carpio is being asked to apply as the next Chief Justice once Teresita de Castro retires in October. Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon has urged Senior Carpio to reconsider his stand and accept the nomination of the Judicial and Bar Council. Carpio declined the nomination because he does not want to benefit from the removal of ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. But Drilon says Carpio's reason is no longer valid since it is De Castro who will be replaced this time. Drilon says De Castro's seniority as a factor in her appointment could be a good sign for Carpio. He also believes President Duterte is open to Carpio's possible appointment despite echoing his refusal to take the post. Grab Philippines is seeking the increase in the number of ride-sharing vehicles plying the metro to about 80,000 units as more commuters try to avail of ride-sharing services. More on this from Miguel Hill.
Ride-sharing firm Grab Philippines is urging the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board to increase the common supply base for transportation network vehicle services units to around 80,000 to meet the riding public's growing demand. This as Grab welcomes the decision of the LTFRB to open applications for 10,000 new TNVS units to address the limited supply of vehicles at present. Grab requests the LTFRB to replace inactive TNVS units with active vehicles ready to serve the riding public. Currently, Grab receives an average of 600,000 passenger bookings daily, but only 35,000 drivers are on the road to address the demand. The board has started accepting the online registration of TNVS applications for new certificates of public conveyance on August 24. It likewise ordered all TNVS units included in the master list provided by transportation network companies to submit their applications and to secure the necessary provisional authority on or before August 31. The LTFRB has issued a memorandum last February setting the supply cap of TNVS units in Metro Manila at 65,000. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation welcomes the proposed implementation of staggered toll fee increases in the North Luzon, Cavite, and Subic-Clark-Tarlac expressways. MPTC President and CEO Rodrigo Franco said the company is agreeable to a staggered toll fee hike once the upward rate adjustments are approved by government. Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade requested for a gradual implementation of toll rate hikes in expressways operated by MPTC. MPTC has petitions for toll rate increases that have been pending since 2011. Tugade also asked that the arbitration case against the state relating to toll rate adjustments be scrapped once the company and the government have settled the issues. He added that the one-time implementation of the toll rate increase is not going to be acceptable to the public. The PNP Highway Patrol Group has called on the victims of the Rent Sangla scam to coordinate with them in filing cases against the masterminds. This after police again arrested the alleged mastermind of the Rent Sangla scam, identified as Rafaela Anunciacion. The suspect was arrested in March 2017 but was able to post bail because she was only charged with simple estafa. Anunciacion's group allegedly hijacked over 600 vehicles in Region 3. Acting HPG Director Roberto Fajardo says they are having a hard time catching operators of the Rentangay scam because complainants file separate cases. Some withdrew their complaints once their vehicles were returned by the scammers. Fajardo is eyeing syndicated estafa and possible carnapping charges against Anunciacion and her cohorts. Baguio City's 109th Charter Day anniversary on September 1 will focus on culture and creativity in line with a Creative City tag from the UNESCO. This year's celebration is aimed at highlighting the city's latest feat as the first Philippine city to make it to the prestigious Creative Circle. Councilor Elmer Datuin said various activities are lined up for the whole month of September. One of these will be a 5-day arts and crafts fair to feature the products of small and medium enterprises in the city. Traditional activities include the Miss, Mr. and Little Miss Baguio pageants, the Baguio Day Health Fair, a job fair, concerts, cultural shows, and various sports events. Culminating activities for the day are a mass at the Baguio Cathedral, a blood donation drive, and free medical mission. Highlighting the celebration is the awarding of the Outstanding Citizens chosen by the Society of Outstanding Citizens of Baguio. Up next, the Philippines expects to win a bronze medal in boxing at the Asian Games in Indonesia. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Konsumo sa kuryente ng electric fan ay kayang pababain. Easy-easy, kayang-kaya. Una, pag nag-electric fan ako, number 1 lang ang fan speed. Hindi kailangang todo ang lakas. Nakakalula. Siyempre, dahil 1 lang ang speed, ang electric fan dapat malapit lang sa akin para sapat ang lakas ng ihi. Easy-easy lang, hindi ba? Malapit lang ang electric fan para 1 lang ang fan speed. Ilalayo mo, tapos ilalaksan mo naman ang speed, ay di mas lalakas ang konsumo. Ay nasaan ang logic doon? Isa pa, kung ako lang naman ang nagpapahangin, yung oscillator, ito yung panggalaw ng ulo ng electric fan pakanan o pakaliwa, nilalak ko na nakatapat lang sa akin. Bawas kuryente na din yun. Ako lang naman ang dapat mapreskuhan Hindi yung sopa, hindi yung TV, hindi yung dingding o yung bintana. Alangan din naman palakad-lakad ako para sundan ang tama ng ihip. Aba, doesn't make sense. Dapat ihip ng hangin, doon laang kung saan kailangan. Bayarin ko sa kuryente, bababa din.
Sa paggamit ng electric fan, i-diskarte mo. I-power mo, i-safety mo, i-secure mo, i-diskarte mo.
The National Food Authority in Western Pangasinan assures the public that the rice supply in the province is free from weevil, locally known as bukbok. Western Pangasinan Assistant Manager Chona Maramba says rice in the province is properly transported. Warehouses in the province were also thoroughly cleaned and prepared before the onset of rains and floods. Maramba said the office's rice buffer stock would last until September despite the high demand due to recent calamities in the province. The NFA Western Pangasinan supplies quality and inexpensive rice to 23 municipalities and 3 cities in the province. Over at the Asian Games in Indonesia, the Philippines bags its 4th gold medal courtesy of Marjeline Dital of Cebu, who won the inaugural women's street skateboarding competition. The 19-year-old Cebu native, who has already played in the X Games, scored 30.4 points in her stunt, bettering the 25-point performance of silver medalist Kaya Isa of Japan. Bunga Nimas of host country Indonesia cropped the bronze with 19.8 points. Prior to Wednesday, all the 3 gold medals of the Philippines in the Asian Games were won by women playing in sports primarily dominated by men. Didal's win ups the Philippine gold medal count to 4. Japan is actually the biggest winner of the women's skateboarding series, as the country went 1-2 in the park category, with Isa pocketing the silver and Sakura Yosozumi winning it all. The Philippines has been assured of another bronze medal after Olympian Rojan Ladon reached the semi-final round of the men's flyweight category in the 18th Asian Games boxing competition. Ladon, who hails from Bago City, Negros Occidental, defeated Kazakhstan's Azat Mametov in their quarter-final bout. Ladon, who placed 9th in the 2016 Rio Olympics, will be up against Thailand's Yutapong Tongdi. Meanwhile, Maria Antoinette Leviste and Joker Arroyo both made it to the individual qualifier 2 of the 18th Asian Games equestrian jumping dressage competition. Leviste, who won the individual silver and team bronze in the SEA Games, finished 17th in the qualifier 1, while Arroyo was 26th place. The Philippines is hoping for its 2nd gold in equestrian after Mikey Cojuangco won the individual gold in Busan, South Korea in 2002. To everyone who's trying to lose weight and stay healthy by going on a diet, government nutritionists warn that engaging in so-called fad diets may do more harm than good. Maricor Zapata tells us more.
The National Nutrition Council in Cordillera warns the public against fad diets that promise fast and easy results, as these may have negative effects on the body. The warning comes as obesity has become a problem in Cordillera. The highland region has been found to have the 5th highest incidence rate of obesity among all regions in the Philippines. Government nutritionists point out that obesity or overnutrition is also a form of malnutrition. They say this signifies imbalances in a person's intake of energy and nutrients that lead to diet-related illnesses. The nutritionists define fad diet as a weight loss plan that promises quick results with short-term change in nutritional needs. The most common fad diets worldwide include the ketogenic diet, intermittent fasting, Atkins diet, and the so-called blood type diet. NNC Cordillera dietitian Belia Basalong warns that such diets have negative drawbacks, which include malnutrition due to certain mineral or vitamin deficiencies, dehydration, getting tired quickly due to limited calories, and altered metabolism, which can cause serious diarrhea or constipation. Basalong says fad diets also eventually cause emotional health problems because of the frustration from failing to achieve one's desired weight loss. Basalong says fad diets that introduce high fat can also lead to cardiovascular diseases. She also warns that fad diet pills and supplements might also contain ingredients that are harmful to the body. She says high-protein fad diets also affect body organs, such as the kidney. Basalong stresses that the most successful weight management is a lifelong process which includes healthy eating, regular exercise, and some mindset changes, as people are born with bodies of varied shapes and sizes. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's top stories. Malacanang considers extending martial law in Mindanao as a bombing leaves 2 dead and scores injured during a fiesta in Isulan, Sultan Kudarat. New Chief Justice Teresita de Castro vows to leave a legacy in the Supreme Court with no time to spare for the impeachment case against her. The Supreme Court begins the oral arguments on the Philippines' withdrawal from the International Criminal Court. And another lady athlete bags a gold medal for the Philippines in the inaugural Women's Street Skateboarding Competition. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I'm Pia Rosas Morato. Good day.